gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
It's been like deja vu. This ain't feeling right. Cause it's been like deja vu. Feeling like, it's been like deja vu. Know what to do. Should I let go of you? Deja vu. Don't wanna repeat of your love. I've had enough. Don't wanna repeat. You better prove to me tonight. Cause it's feeling like deja vu. Feeling like it's feeling like.
Hello. This is the Queen of the Bronx, Apollonia Cruz, and welcome to LDM Network Out in the Open.
Hello, lovers. Welcome to Out in the Open. I'm Frankie L. Day here with my beautiful co-host, Apollonia Cruz.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Get that.
It took me a lot of practicing because that's for a future project in Spanish.
So how did you practice getting that grrr in there?
I just practiced like
Yeah.
going. The Puerto Ricans have the habit of going, oye, yo quiero arroz, but without pronouncing arroz.
Well, I know. It depends. Who you're talking to, where they're from, because they will come for you when you roll the R. I know. So how do you say the crackers, the Spanish crackers? How do you say it?
Galleta.
The other ones, the name brand, the VITTARROZ. How do you say that?
Oh my God, I don't remember.
Darling, I thought you were Puerto Rican.
The vitamins? The
No.
green can?
Never mind, you messed the joke up,
I
darling.
didn't get it.
I guess so. But let's start the show off. Thank you for all tuning in. We're not on Eastern time. We're not on Western time. We're on LDM time. So sorry for the little late starts. But we're gonna give you a whole show. First, we want to shout out. I wasn't late. Well, no, I was. I know I was here. Get to know. I was here.
She wasn't late.
Anyhow, the show.
Allegedly.
But thank you for tuning in there. I think that was you were on Facebook. I think that was right.
Oh, okay.
It's so quick. But anyway, happy. That's so Spanish. Right? Happy
use the
International Women's Day to all the women.
Yes.
We want to give a shout out.
All the transgender women out there.
So I'm gonna use my phone because there were some people that I didn't want to write all of them down, but some people to highlight. Was a comedian who is a butch lesbian comedian,
yes.
Leia Delaria from Orange is the New Black. We also want to shout out MJ Rodriguez, her recent Golden Globe win for Pose and such other things, music and whatnot. A trans woman of color from Pose. We want to shout out Janelle Monáe, who's a pansexual.
Yes.
She's also R&B singer, an actress as well.
Yes.
Chantel Wong, she's the first openly lesbian ambassador to be confirmed by the Senate in the U.S. history. She's also our first LGBT plus person of color to serve in an ambassador level position at the U.S. Director of the Asian Development Bank. That's a mouthful, darling. Usually I can handle a mouthful, but that was a mouthful.
That was a big mouth.
We have Zaya Wade, who's a 14-year-old transgender daughter of a basketball star, Dwayne Wade, and she came out in 2020. Since then, she's become a high-profile figure on social media, and despite her young age, has worked hard to help LGBT plus people accept themselves and to help adults understand them. So shout out to you all. And also, there was someone that was also listed, not on this particular post here, but our very own Peppermint. We all know Peppermint. She is so lovely. I adore her. I met her once, and she made such an impression on me. She is the model person. Bless you.
And
International Women's Day.
My sister, Dominique Jackson, from Pose. I love
She
you,
wasn't
honey.
on the
She
list,
opened doors.
though.
Huh?
She wasn't on the
Well,
list.
she's on my
darling.
list, bitch.
Okay, well, I'm gonna drink to that.
Here's to you,
But-
to you, Tyra. I will always call
Happy
you Tyra.
International Women's Day. Our drink this week is something Caribbean because we're a couple Caribbean women here from Puerto Rico. But this is some coconut because we love the cocoa. We love the cocoa. Some cocoa and piña drink. Shout out Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you to our dear Frankie O'Day for providing the beverage.
I will always come through with the liquor,
Yes,
darling.
you do. And I'll come with the
I will
beauty.
always come through. So, moving along, talking about women, RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
Did we see it? Did we not see it?
I saw it.
Okay, great. So this week they talked about the menses, which to interpret that, that's talking about men. So they had a couple of panels. One kind of focused on fathers, and one caucus.
Laverne
Cox.
Cox.
No, Rico Manaz is tuning in from YouTube and saying Laverne Cox.
Laverne Cox. We love
So
Laverne.
I
I don't know
said-
her personally, but I love her.
Oh, another, yes, beautiful one. But there are many people. We don't need to name all of them. We have 1 hour. Thank you. We love you. Happy International All Women. So,
Yes.
the RuPaul's Drag Race was talking about menses,
Okay.
which is the men, the panels. There was two of them. One was kind of focusing on fathers, and one was focusing, I guess, on was it love interest? I think it was when it comes to men. But it was fun. One highlight from the fathers was Angeria, and I like that she. Pardon me, she didn't say fathers. Shout out to her father who was accepting of her in every which way. He did make an appearance with Mom on the show this week, which was I did the after show, sorry, the Untucked. But they're very supportive, so we love that. But they asked the panel if they were all dating, and all said they were all single, which was not surprising, but actually like encouraging to me because you think like, am I dating? But something that Angeria said, which I think is not unknown, but it's a truth that she was saying, like the hookup culture. People they can hook up, so why invest in a relationship? What do you think about that?
Well, I've been single for 30 years, darling. And look how beautiful I am.
So Apple doesn't want to invest in a relationship. So she doesn't want to invest in a relationship, which is fine, or people don't want to do that. But people that want to, they have a huge challenge because, people just want to hook up. They don't want to invest in a relationship.
No, it's. I would love to be in a relationship, but I have a very low tolerance to bullshit. So the type of guys that I like, they were great and bad. Don't get me wrong, but just because you have good sex with someone does not make them a great partner. So I haven't met someone. Exactly. I haven't met someone in New York City yet that I could say, oh, I could develop a relationship with this one.
But it's a good start.
No, darling. No, don't confuse
It's a
good
good
sex.
start.
Don't confuse good sex with them being
I'm
a
not
good
confusing
lover.
because I'll tell you could have all the money in the world, but if your sex game is off, bye-bye.
Exactly. How you doing?
Bye-bye. I'm sorry. Sex not everything, but it's up there.
I broke
it's
up-
up there.
I was gonna date a millionaire, right, before I moved to New York City when I came back. And he was cute, really cute and everything. His chest was cute. Once he took off his clothes, he was like a bear, hairy. I was like, oh, this is not gonna work. Millionaire. He couldn't believe it. His ego was crushed. He tried to win me back like for 4 months. I'm like, baby, it's not gonna work.
No. I mean, there's a
Not
whole.
for me.
There's a whole story for that.
No hairballs in my
but,
mouth.
Oh my God.
The sex is important.
Yes.
It's important to me. I ain't gonna lie. It's
I
important to me.
hate, Franklin, don't you hate when people say it's not all about sex? Bullshit.
It so is.
Of course it is.
I dated a beautiful, beautiful man for 2 years. So Sean Graham Facebook says people are investing in themselves, dealing with a subpar man in this economy. Surely you jest. I don't know what I'm jesting, but I guess it means adjust. But I agree.
I'm
I agree.
adjusting something right now.
That
Hold
means-
on.
I don't know. I can't remember what adjust means, but I do agree. But I was with a man for 2 years who was everything I wanted, and I wasn't leaving him because the sex was bad. I was like, I'm gonna make this work, but it didn't work out. And so that's where my sole opinion is.
Because
coming from there.
I've seen you with your dates. I'm like, oh my God, they make a great couple. But then, the relationship broke.
Well,
And
you know
in
what?
my eyes, they made a great couple. But I'm not.
I mean,
I'm not,
outside looking in is
like,
all that.
Exactly.
But
It was all mirrors
just
and what?
like Bosco, who won the challenge on RuPaul said, she's like, let's talk about men, the problems. Why? Why? So I'll say why. We're going to move on. But she was amazing as a host. I could totally see her getting her own show past this. And she probably should. She was wonderful in that challenge. Also, Willow Pale, I want to shout out.
I love Willow Pill.
She is,
Willow
I think
Pill.
she's going to be one of the top three.
Three.
Yes.
With Angeria.
With Angeria. Unless, the show pulls, a hoodwink and gets rid of Angeria. And
That's gonna be the biggest scandal in Drag Race
right,
history.
which these shows do. They do that to just fool us. But in the bottom two this week, we had that girl Jasmine again. I say, I don't learn her name because she's forgettable. And I don't promote bullying. This is all in good fun, but not
Yes.
I won't hurt people. But this girl here, her drag makeup looks like the Corpse Bride.
Oh
Like
my
she looks
God.
the Corpse Bride. She looks like someone they pulled out of the freezer in the morgue, and that's what her contour and her
God.
her complexion looks like. I am just not with it. Even her, just the whole thing is not exciting. Yes, the girl is amazing at the lip sync, so that's what's saving her. But even when she opens her mouth, you remember that horror movie from the 90s? I know you love horror, The Critters.
Yeah,
Critters.
Oh, the teeth.
The
The Lady Bunny teeth.
when she, yeah, when
Lady
she,
Bunny
Lady Bunny teeth. When she opens her mouth to even even lip sync, she looks like the Critters or Mr. Ed. She's like,
God. You feel like feeding her a carrot.
yeah, I know. And then she's so funny because she's just like, oh my God, I would have felt so bad if I would have sent another girl home. You are not that good.
Exactly.
Relax. You are not that good.
Exactly. I'm like, I was laughing when she made that
Oh,
comment.
and she said it over and over. And even, Gorgeous Georges is down, in the bottom again. But I get it, she's very talented, but at this time in the game,
Exactly.
there are certain things where your strengths are. You gotta improve on them, or doesn't matter how good of a dancer and all that stuff, you will be getting sent home, right?
How you doing? Because there's gonna be some surprises coming up in the upcoming episodes. You know that RuPaul is gonna throw some controversy on this shit. You know she is.
Well, I didn't know. Tell me.
Well, I can't say nothing, yeah.
What have you heard, darling?
But I heard that he's gonna throw some controversy.
Yeah?
He.
Yeah. Well, it will, but it was a good week. I enjoyed it. Nobody went home again as the
It
viewers.
was really good. I had a feeling that was gonna happen.
I think it was deserved, even though I was poking fun and maybe fun half mean about Jasmine. The lip sync that they both did, they slayed. They really slayed. It was really difficult to think which one of these girls is gonna go home.
I don't know, but I'm getting sick of that of diabetes attitude.
Yeah, well, like one of our viewers and friend. Oh, so Ricky Velez wrote a paragraph. Can you, if it stays up?
He said to take off your glasses.
Ricky
so you
Velez
can-
from Facebook. The gays that have been single for a long time are harder to cuff because they are not willing to compromise. They end up old and alone, and they love to get away due to themselves sabotaging relationships due to our enemy.
I
the
highly disagree.
ego.
I highly disagree. You know why? I've been alone for such a long time, so I could spot a bullshitter a mile away. I'm not gonna be with someone because I hate being alone. I enjoy my own company, but I also enjoy a company of someone, sexually, but also someone that.
Hi, Leah from
with.
Facebook.
You know what I'm saying?
Love you for tuning in, baby.
Well, doesn't describe me though.
No, but
I'm a pussycat.
I agree with you too. I think that what at this stage in the game, and we're people of particular ages, I'm not gonna compromise. I work too hard to get. I work too hard to get where I am, and I'm not gonna lower my standards too much, or not even that much, for just anything out there. So compromise is like, okay, you know what? Are we gonna have chicken or fish tonight? We'll compromise on that, but we're not gonna compromise my career, my friends, my me time, my creativity, any of that. We're not compromising that. So there's just a fine line between a lot of things, especially with this one, between compromise and what, I know myself well enough to know what I want and know what I will accept, or the word used to tolerate, what we will tolerate, and we're allowed. We work too hard to get here, and we know the rough roads, or at least I can say, the rough roads I had getting to this point. The rest of this life is gonna be bliss.
And we're
I'm not
getting-
gonna bring
Yes,
dirty laundry on.
No. Just because you see your friends having boyfriends and getting married. And I know people that gotten married since the marriage equality law passed, that half of them are divorced already. You know why? Because they met someone, they did it a year. Oh, let's get married. And now where are they? Divorced. Some of them are second-time divorced. So, I'm very selective with who I'm gonna offer my heart to. Who I'm gonna offer my pussy is a different story. Meow. You got the meow sound?
So, one thing I saw a topic this week I wanted to talk about, which
Yes,
is really
go ahead.
alarming, really alarming. Is they're talking a lot about this very archaic therapy they do called conversion therapy. And conversion therapy, for our viewers who may not know, it's for like the LGBT community, whether you're gay, bisexual, trans, whatnot. It's a form of therapy where they try to like
Convert them to their born
turn
state.
you to
They're
like
born-
cisgender
yeah.
and straight. And in recent times, in some places, it consists of like counseling, which I get counseling. It can consist of social visual skills, and psychotherapy. But there are a lot of like really horrific forms of this therapy that include like ice pick lobotomies, where they stick
Ooh.
this ice pick into the temporal lobe of your
no,
brain.
I've heard of that. I've heard.
They do shock therapy, and they just may be very like abusive. But what I find
Mind
alarming,
control also.
so what I find alarming in this country is that only 25 of our states prohibit it. There's 25 other states that are allowed to practice this, and this is still practiced. And on top of that, there's a little over $9 billion of tax money funding this therapy every year.
Are those Republican states that do it?
So here's the thing. When it comes down to it, obviously we know the fight between Republican and Democratic. But just staying on topic with this one and probably a lot of other things, not everything is Republican, even though we may not like Republicans for their views, and we get it, and vice versa. So even in this instance, I believe I read, and I wrote it here somewhere, that there are some states where Republicans were actually not for as well. So that's important to say that. But $9 billion of our tax money is going to this, right? And what they're seeing, which isn't unusual or surprising, is that this conversion therapy is leading to a lot of these people, individuals, committing suicide.
Exactly.
It's really horrific. There's an old term which I was trying to think today how to like apply it to. Like we talk about like race, like breathe the black out of you type of thing. It's like, what are you doing? Like, this is really horrific, when it comes down to it, that you're just like, I'm going to experiment on you because, I don't know, like, you don't like green, but I want you to like green. So I'm just going to make you wear green. Like something, that's so
Okay.
lame. But can you believe today in 2022 that they're still doing this? With all the evolution we've gone in the community?
And conventional therapy has been being done since before I was born. That's like I remember.
But
back in the day,
today, 2022.
black and white swirl, and it says, "I like woman." You never seen the little circle that they spin around?
Oh, you
my
mean
God.
the Twilight Zone thing?
Yes, I forget
Um,
about the microphone.
But the Trevor Project, which was founded in '98, which was set up because we didn't have really a resource for our LGBT youth to turn to. Aaliyah Conti from Facebook says, "What is your opinion of people who cannot settle down? Is there an inner conflict there? How about people who can never be single?" I will address that. I just want to move forward because these topics are kind of long. We'll get back. We'll circle back, Aaliyah.
yeah, he has his Bible there ready with everything.
But the Trevor Project was set up to have a resource for the community who may, have thoughts of suicide to turn to. They are really, fighting the good fight when it comes to this conversion therapy. There's a bill called the Prohibition of Medical Funding for Conversion Therapy. It was introduced in 2019. It hasn't passed yet, but it's been introduced so that they can still move forward and have this really like horrific practice on people. And there's even an unmeasurable amount of money going in to rehabilitate the people who have just developed serious mental problems from this treatment, from this therapy. And the people that are for it, they're quoting that religion, of course, religion falls always into this. When it comes to us, you're gonna burn, darling.
Honey, I should be a pastor because I love religion. I love being on my knees. I love praying on my knees.
And they also, well, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna go back to that. But anyways, also they say that their argument is that it should be a parent's right to decide what's best for their children.
Exactly.
Which we get that, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate when we move on to the subject. But I wanted to share that probably like 2 years ago, there's this show running called Haunted. I think you can find it on Amazon.
I've heard of it.
And there's this particular episode, and it's about this gentleman, and it's very real. His name is James Swift, and it was titled "Cult of Torture." And he was from Louisiana. Probably it was in the 60s or the 50s, sometime late 50s, 60s, early 60s. And he belonged to this worldwide Church of God, and they had this program they developed in the church called the World of Tomorrow. And what they were doing is it was conversion therapy, and they were taking these kids away, and they were painting it like it was like a camp, and they were taking these children, young teen boys, probably girls too, but they just show boys here, to this camp, and they were doing horrific things to them. They were shocking them, beating them, starving them, hanging them up naked in cages like animals for days naked. And they were just defecating on themselves, urinating on themselves. Even they were doing the shock therapy, like showing them photos, of things to shock it out of them. And like they even showed in this particular instance that the priest who had run the church and ran this program, him and the staff, it was a part of the therapy. They were raping these boys.
Of course they were.
They were brutally raping these boys while they were in there for this so-called conversion therapy.
Mm-hmm. While they're the ones committing the sin and doing all this.
It's just really horrific. And we don't even know, like today, obviously this is still going on. And even as we speak, there are those of us out there, maybe not even in this, Aaliyah from Facebook, it happened, this story, particularly what I'm talking about, was like the late 50s, early 60s, talking about. But this could be happening as we speak.
And we don't even know.
Anywhere. And it's really sad. I think the more sad part is what? I guess I don't want to make it about money, but you think $9 billion of our tax money is going to this? Mm-hmm. So it's really something that, it's incredibly shocking, and it's going on now, and we should be conscious of that.
No, of course. The commission of therapy, that's something that sometimes I feel like it's ending, and then all of a sudden, boom, something else comes up.
It does. So I said here to you that one of the arguments of the opponents for conversion therapy cited patients' rights for kids' medical treatment, right? So we talk about that, right? Mm-hmm. So which brings us a segue to another story. In Texas, recently, the governor there said, he was asking licensed professionals and just the general public, if you know anyone out there who is giving their trans child gender-affirming treatment, medical treatment, which gender-affirming treatment is just like, I said here, like puberty blockers and hormone therapy, if the child feels they're of the other gender.
Yes.
And if they are found to, they're just, posing that. It's not a law yet. Mm-hmm. But they're saying that if you're under 18, they want to call that child abuse.
I heard about that.
They want to call it child abuse. Mm-hmm. So you figure these two stories here, right? You have parents, who say, oh, you know what? My child thinks they are of the community, so I want to give them therapy to treat them to not be, right? And obviously we all see that as wrong. But then the contrasting story, you have children here today, as young as 8 and 9, who are saying, oh, no, mommy, I'm not a boy, I'm not a girl, I'm this. And their parents may feel it's suited that, they can start treating them with gender-affirming therapy. But a lot of us will probably say, well, of course. So what do y'all think? Or what do you think, as far as child abuse? They're saying this is child abuse, but the conversion therapy, there was no mention of child abuse in that. Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts on that?
You was asking me? I thought you was talking to the public about.
Okay, I'm gonna keep moving here. But I think like obviously like I think that. So Sean Graham on Facebook says conversion therapy is still happening. One of the biggest funders. I moved too fast. Facebook. It just passed in Idaho. I think it's child abuse so far, says Eric Foley, Focus Carter from Facebook.
Sean said that Chick-fil-A is one of the biggest money givers to conventional therapy.
Who's laughing now? Get to know. I don't know why you're laughing because if you were here, the screen is moving fast, so forget you.
Yes.
So Chick-fil-A is a funder of conversion therapy?
Yes, conversion therapy. One of the biggest ones. That's well known.
Yeah. So don't go to Chick-fil-A. If anyone from Philadelphia is watching, family, I know y'all love Chick-fil-A.
They just opened one in Puerto Rico.
Don't support these people. But just continuing, my question was, one is looked at as child abuse, because conversion therapy, like to change the child's thought of like them thinking themselves to be gay, bisexual, trans, etc. And one is considered, that's not child abuse. That was considered kind of okay, rather. But the other one, the gender affirming drugs and medication, rather, is considered child abuse. So it's hard. It's a hard thing. I think that, I think what I think is, Apple, is like the conversion therapy is horrific and just kind of really cruel. And I know people that are against the gender affirming therapies and medications will say the same thing. But I just wonder that I don't even know. Maybe one of our viewers knows, and I didn't get a chance to look this up. Forgive me. It's like obviously the earlier you take these hormone therapies, the better you are moving forward, physically or not, to whatever gender you
Exactly.
are moving to.
Normally
right?
they'll start blocking for the transgender girls. They'll start doing them right before they're 13 years old, so they could transform their body. So by the time they're 15, you're gonna think they're little girls. They're teenagers.
Yeah. So they're just saying that someone under 18 shouldn't be able to do this.
And for the transgender boys, they give them something that they won't have their period at 9 years.
So Eric from Facebook said, although I think children should be able to be able to make decisions of their own, I don't think that is fully understood at 8 or 9. Which I guess you can. I mean, it's hard to say that. I know what I'm gonna say. I agree, because my hesitation is like someone's gonna come for me, but come for me.
Listen,
I'm not stopping nobody.
Listen, I knew I found boys attractive right before I went on first grade. Okay, I knew that I saw the girls. Oh, they're pretty, and the boys. Oh, they're pretty too.
I get that, but just you having a taste for bologna today versus what. I'm gonna cut my tongue out because I don't want to eat bologna, and then decide later I want a tongue again. What I mean? Like, I'm making fun, but it's just like it's like very different, because you can always switch like a thought process, but a physical alteration to your body is really something that is hard to turn back the dial for.
It's expensive to reverse. Very expensive to reverse.
But anyway, so in Texas, moving forward with this same story, there's a family, and there's a woman who works for this Texas Department of Family Social Services, that they're investigating her because they found that her and her husband have their 16-year-old daughter, well, male to female, but transgender female, undergoing gender affirming therapy. And this company, this company already took actions against this family. They already like put the mother on a leave of absence, so she's losing money. They've already got authorities involved, and they're doing all this under their own accord. It is not law yet. They're breaking laws, and I think the great part of this story is that the gentleman, I think it's Ken Paxton, who's the Attorney General, that's motivating all this to happen. He's been under investigation since 2015 for security fraud, and he's being investigated by the FBI. And this man is still Attorney General? has the FBI after him and security fraud and et cetera, and he's still the attorney general. We have people losing jobs for less than that.
For not getting a vaccine.
Yeah, amen. Amen. Like less than that. Like the crazy. But you know what? The South, it's a different beast. The South is a different beast. And even though, you know what I found interesting too is that this governor also over there, Greg Abbott, he said that he wanted like licensed professionals to get involved, which includes the psychologists. So, psychologists have a medical oath of confidentiality,
They cannot talk about their clients.
and they're forcing them like to come and say stuff. Like they could lose their licenses. This is not even a law yet. Just the insanity that's ensuing here. But my last thought on this is just like, I agree. Like a parent should be able to make medical decisions for their child. And as long as something's in writing, as long as there's like, a therapist involved, like, doing a psychoanalysis, whatever they term it, if they say the child is, wants to move forward and is viable, like, then it is what it is.
I think
it is what it is.
I think it has to be like an individual case. Like if if this child comes out to their parents and say whatever, I don't dress me like that. I'm a boy and it's a girl, born a girl. I think it's an individual case. That's how I feel.
Well, no, obviously it's an individual case, but again, you know what? If there's a therapist, which to my knowledge is involved with any person that wants to transition, if they're saying like mentally the person is right and can move forward, then it's documented. That should be law. Let this happen.
Yeah.
Let this happen. However, I mean, and it would just be like up to the parent. I mean, we might look back in 20 years, and it might be flipped. It might be saying all these years, we're being looked down upon because we raise our kids boy girl, and now it's like, oh my God, they're messed up. In 30 years, these young children who now we say, okay, you know what? They said they're this, that, let's do this. And they'll come back and cry 30 years later and say, why you did that, mommy? Why you did that? I mean, I don't know. But come on. I mean, it's the chance you take. And I mean, it's a chance you take.
I'm telling you, I was watching this video thing on Facebook, and there's this couple. I wish I would have wrote their names and everything, but they have 2 kids, and both kids are transgender. The girl is a transgender boy, and the boy is a transgender. Isn't that freaking amazing? I mean, it's like, I never heard about that.
Well, we have good friends. Them. Well, I don't know if to say names, but we have good friends. Them, and they have a 3-year-old child who was born male, but already expressed that she's female, and they have took it very seriously, and they allow their child to discover herself and dress as she feels. And I know these 2 individuals, and they are so precious, the parents. I never met the little girl, and I feel like I trust them, and I think that's so interesting. I would love to be around them to experience that, because I've never experienced
that before.
No,
I think
no.
many of us haven't
But I know that these 2 individuals have not a malicious bone in their body. So, them allowing their child to discover herself, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, I think even for me, growing up, that wasn't, this is not the same story, but it's similar in the fact that, like, I think I am who I know I am who I am, and I know people that, give me a lot of credit and have a lot of reverence for me. But I tell you, what? A lot of that comes from that I grew up in a family that let me find myself, discover myself. They never said, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. They didn't do that to me. And I was able to just discover, like, blossom like a beautiful flower.
You have blossomed since I met you.
Hey, beautiful. Yeah. It's like,
Blossom,
you
bitch.
too, darling. Ooh.
Like people, I was asked several times in 1 week, Appa, are you transitioning? I'm like, no, Papa, but you look so soft. I'm like, I'm just a gender bender diva. I just made that up. I don't know if that term exists.
Sean,
Gender
I just
bender.
want to stop you, but Sean Graham from Facebook says it wasn't that long ago that left-handed children were deemed like unnatural and strange. But and you're right, Sean. Like this is how this world operates. The minute something is not something that people are used to, all of a sudden it's something that, oh my gosh, we should, we have to get rid of it. We have to stop it. We have to. Why can't we appreciate the differences? The differences are what make it so
The
interesting
variety
and
of,
and lovely. I mean, like if you went to a flower shop, if you went to the botanical gardens, right, and you walked in, and every flower was the same color, same shape, same this, you'd be so mad. You'd be so mad.
if you go to a sex party, I'll be pissed.
I'm sorry, the questions are so long. I don't.
You guys are you guys are put some more comments so
um,
we could read it, because by the time we're gonna finish reading the comments,
Basically,
it disappears.
our Enrique, and also Sean Graham, they're just pointing out that like physical differences that are plentiful, because you know what, people have to understand. You know what, we are genetic things. Like things happen when we're being created in the womb. So so the physical differences. People have physical differences. What
Yeah.
our viewers are saying.
Get to know reading.
I won't read her because I love her.
Yes, you do. You're a lesbian.
So, but physical differences, yeah. You know what? If we pick on physical differences, it makes us feel superior. And a lot of people who feel very inferior. The easiest thing to attack is someone's physical appearance.
Exactly.
And it just makes you have a false sense of superiority and elevate your insecurities by doing that.
But what that's gonna happen is that they're gonna get a beat down from that person that they're, doing these things to, because it's a struggle. It takes a lot of work to change your whole thing. Like it's a whole different ball game. You think that I was telling someone, you think that someone just wants to become transgender? No, this is something that they were feeling since they were little, and they finally had the courage to say, okay, this is who I am. And it's a struggle, and I know that all of my transgender sisters across the country can vouch for that, because it really is.
No, I can imagine. I can imagine the
Especially the
struggle.
bullying.
I mean, it's not just the mental, but but it's the physical. And then on top of going through that, people know when they're just struggling with something mundane, like they lost a job. I mean, it's huge, but still, you figure how heavy that is on your mind, and the world around you, how it may perceive you or treat you. Think how much it's polarized, or how even more largely it is, or chronic and severe, the pain and the suffering. When you have to, you don't physically feel like yourself. You figure. Let's put it this way: something that you share and you can identify with.
Yes.
You losing how many pounds you lost now?
Over 37.
And you just were very vocal in the last month and even a couple weeks ago, how down you were with that extra weight,
I was
right?
feeling horrible.
Your physical presence really brought you down, right?
I didn't want to look at myself in the mirror.
Okay, so and that was something that you have control of by yourself
And
to lose weight.
people got offended about that, though.
Well, I don't care about them.
Me neither.
So, love you. You look amazing. But you see how much just some weight, your physical weight, has such a heavy bearing, on your mind.
But health-wise.
But this
it was mostly for
person,
health-wise.
but this person, these individuals who physically just think like, look at their bodies and like, oh my God, this is not my body. How horrific it can be just to wake up and look at yourself. Like you don't want to look at yourself. You think when you have the extra weight, you don't look at yourself. But if your physical body doesn't look like the body you think you should be in, it's amplified.
Especially when their body shape is so different. That, for example, there could be a big person, and transitioning is hard. It's very hard.
Well, I don't think any sane person out there. I'm sure there are, but I don't think anyone negates that. It's hard. It's not hard. It's not hard because
it's expensive
and expensive and whatnot.
Because some states don't provide the how you call it, the hormones. They have to get it either from New York or from Florida or from other states. But it's very hard I know people that are struggling right now with their transitioning.
Oh,
It's
well,
all
yeah.
mental, also.
Yeah.
Mental, because when they go outside, they see the people gawking at them. You know, and after a while, even if you could have tough skin, but that will bother you after a while. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I want to, so let me just shout out to all my trans friends. You are some of the most beautiful people in spirit that I've ever encountered. And you really are just so embracing and encouraging and supportive. So I just want to thank you for that. And if people are knocking that, that's your loss. That's your loss, because the trans friends that I have and will have up until now in my life, they are incredibly amazing individuals.
Yes, they are.
And they're also people that give back. They're also people that they're activists and they fight for justice and equality for everyone.
rights,
you know,
rights.
justice, equality, and rights for everyone. So just shout out to you, ladies and men. Thank you for that.
I need to give a special shout out to some friends, of course, because the viewers, our local viewers in New York City. Renaldo is gonna bring us food one day when we have the audience here. He lives just around the corner, and a couple of Ricky Velez, George Nunez, Casanova, Lewis, Sean Graham. These are people that do a lot for the community as well here in New York City.
Well, along with that, let's always give a shout out to our viewers from Facebook, from YouTube, from Vimeo, from Twitch, from Roku. Thank you all for tuning in. We really appreciate you. The ones that we can see your comments, the ones that we have yet to see comments, but we know that you're there. We greatly appreciate you for tuning in. And I'm gonna do something.
But I want to thank. I'm sorry to interrupt you, guys. Let me spit something out. I want to say thank you to I got viewers in my building, my neighbors from the 3rd floor, 1st floor, 5th floor, 7th floor. They've been loving the show. They think you're very cute.
Well, who doesn't?
They just say,
Thank
"Frankie,
you.
is cute."
Thank you, 3rd floor, 5th floor, 7th floor, and
I had almost the whole building, the whole condo complex.
But I'm gonna do something right
Go ahead,
now.
do your thing.
Don't be offended, okay?
No, do your thing. I'll talk. Trust me.
We're a family show, but I'm gonna do this, and just don't be offended out there, okay?
Go ahead.
Get to know. Get off my tip. Get off my tip. Have to see my whole face. It's right here. I want to do something that I did last week. That I was that was very fun. And so last week we did this fun thing, and the viewers had a real fun time with it. But it was all about, what does your drink say about you?
Okay.
Right?
I remember.
So this week I saw this TikTok thing, and it's just a key, but it's like, what does your birth month say about you? Okay? So we're gonna go through the months. I need a sip though.
Yes.
We need a humidifier in here. My throat gets dry.
Listen, the freaking heater is on. My pussy's soaked.
So, what does your birth month say about you? So, starting with January, if you were born in January, and I have to agree with this, it says you are basic. You are basic if you're born in January. January is a reset month. Nothing happens in January. Everyone is hungover
And broke.
and broke and broke. And they are just like worn out from all the holidays.
Bitter and over pot belly from eating a
Also, where's the shade that they put MLK Day in January?
Oh my God.
How dare you? It should be in February. We gotta work on moving that. So that's
surprised.
January.
That's a thought, actually. Black History Month.
Well, you know what the same thing was with like the penny. There was always a running joke. They were like, oh, Lincoln helped free the slaves. That's why he's on the brown penny. So I don't know if this is I don't know if this is like some shade that they're like, January, nobody cares about January, that they're just too tired to even to worry about it, so they put MLK Day in
I
January.
have a sense of humor, guys. You know what I'm saying?
But move it to February,
Okay.
MLK Day.
The month of love.
So they say if you're born in February, well, this kid that did this TikTok, he says he doesn't think February exists. February is just too short. It comes in, it goes out. People are just PO'd.
It's like a 5-minute man.
Well, I tell you, people are pissed off because the groundhog comes out and says winter's longer. Also, people don't believe in love anymore, so they just hate Valentine's Day. Everyone's like, Valentine's Day. I think Valentine's Day is gonna be on the chopping board soon. Like it's
The
gonna
producer
be.
loves Valentine's Day.
No, he doesn't.
For the 50%
No, he
chocolate.
doesn't.
For the 50%
Oh.
50% chocolate day. The right producer?
You know. So it's just like, yeah, they're gonna get rid of Valentine's Day. Also, if you're born in March, this kid, which I think is very true, he's like, everybody has a damn birthday in March. I think every day on Facebook it's like a March birthday, March birthday, March birthday. I was like, oh my gosh, how many times can you say happy birthday in March? In March. So March people like, wow, you know, I guess people have a lot of tutti frutti in like October.
And now that
or-
you mentioning March,
no, July.
it's gonna be my 57th anniversary from being baptized, March 23rd. I just saw my
Oh,
my
really?
baptism certificate. It's gonna be 57 years ago. I was
She was
baptized.
in the Dead Sea,
It
darling.
said,
By,
die, Satan! Satan!
by Jesus baptized her in the Dead Sea,
the
darling.
power of Christ compels you. That's what they were doing when I got baptized, man.
So this kid goes on. He says, April babies, you don't exist either.
Jokers.
You don't exist either. It's just a transition month. All it does is rain, and people are depressed because of damn rain all
Yes.
month. So you don't exist there. He goes on to say, but I gotta say he was very biased about this. But he said,
Okay.
May babies. He said, you're very cool. May babies are very cool. So get to know, live it up, darling. You're very
Taurus are
cool.
moody.
Huh?
Taurus people are moody.
Well, there's also Geminis in May too.
Yeah, yeah.
So get to know is a Gemini. So he's feeling very happy in his coolness right now. But and by no means this is the absolute truth, I swear. So I'm a June baby. They said June babies are so cool and they're so chill. And it's the start of summer, darling. Who doesn't love June? And it's gay pride.
Yes.
There is everything happening. June is all about all love all day.
All love and
All
pride.
love all day.
Yes.
Now, this is not for ratings. This is what was on the TikTok.
Okay.
They said, July babies, crazy, crazy.
I am crazy. You know why I'm crazy? Because I care about the community and I do all these events that I don't make a single dollar from. But for those of you that say single people are selfish, if I was selfish, I wouldn't be doing all these community events, opening stages to all the entertainers, regardless your gender.
Well, you know what? If you wear fajas in June, it'll be too hot.
Everybody does.
I know. So I mean, that's why it's gonna be hot. You better powder up, darling. You better powder up. Stephen Terrell from Facebook said that Geminis are crazy. I don't know if you saw that. Get to know.
Somebody
But Stephen Terrell, he said Geminis are crazy. You better talk about on the after show.
Somebody wrote your mama.
Oh, that's that's get to know. So they say August again doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. I mean, all you're thinking about is going back to school. It's the end of summer. So
Bitching
August.
that they didn't get to go to the beach.
They didn't get to go to the beach. So then I'm gonna couple them together because it was the same notion. But
Okay, okay.
September and October, it says you're both weird. You're just weird babies. However, I had to
I
disagree.
prefer labeling myself weird.
I had to disagree because I love
thing.
October. It's Halloween month.
Yes. honey.
Like it's just so much fun, and it's the beginning of the holidays, like Halloween.
Especially with
month.
moi that produced a Halloween bash right on a 1980 cemetery in the Bronx. I'm weird.
She did, darling. We raised some of the dead there.
Yes, we did.
And-
And,
and
my
we-
thank you party also.
And we didn't
On
even,
the 1880s, 1800 cemetery. 1800 cemetery.
yeah. If you come to an Apollonia Cruise production and
We
show,
be partying with the dead.
she raises everything. No
Yeah,
Viagra needed.
that's what I don't-
No Viagra needed.
No Viagra needed, no.
So November babies, and my mother's one, and some of my really good friends are November babies. He said you're awesome. He just said you're awesome. He said you're awesome. I think you're really emotional at times, but I know a lot people probably say I'm emotional, but I think y'all maybe emotional not the word.
But
Maybe
people say cancer babies are emotional.
right?
I'm not an emotional bitch. What hurts me is people that I care for when they try to hurt me, that's when I go, oh shit. That's when I bring the bitch out. That's when I bring the crazy out. Because like people that you least expect, that you know,
Oh well, I feel like you bring the bitch out every Tuesday at 7.
how you doing? Especially behind the scenes.
and
That's
this is,
all you?
it's on
Okay.
me. And my last one, I have
He's
my
busting
boo-
out everywhere in the back too.
You know what? So So yeah, I'm busting out. But let me tell you something. This sweater, and these pants here, which you can't see.
No.
They're so tight. I feel.
How dare you knee on the chair right now with your butt?
Okay, I'm gonna
Hold on.
try to do this with my old knees.
Look at that booty. Look at that booty, guys.
But shout out to my Dominican brothers because I don't know how you wear this tight clothing. I need to get this off.
you look so beautiful.
Thank you,
I
you.
love Frankie O'Day's fashions. They're really good.
So the last one, December, I have to agree with. I totally love it. He said, December, it's Christmas. Who are you? I don't know you. No one cares. We're buying Christmas presents. If you're a December baby and a January baby, your birthday is sorry.
Especially if you're in
sorry.
December, and then it's your birthday in December too.
It's terrible.
Like double gifts.
It's terrible if you celebrate Christmas.
If you
know.
celebrate Christmas.
But even if you're not celebrating Christmas, everyone's doing holidays between September and January. So it's like if your birthday is there, you're screwed. You're screwed. Don't come to me for a present. Don't come to me for a party. Like my credit cards are maxed out, darling. They're done. They're done.
Like right now, this is the time of the year in New York City that there's gonna be a lot of benefits and stuff for this event, that event. I can't give to anybody. I'm the bitch. I need help for my events for this July. So people been sending me people that don't support me. This is the time now. Oh, could you donate to our cause, honey? What cause haven't I given my time to? I need help with my events, though.
Wait.
Oh wait, what was that?
No,
That was
wait,
fast.
you missed it. Thank you, Enrique.
He said he liked the.
No, Jorge back, I don't know what TV he's watching on. We don't see it, but Jorge, sorry for the last name, Jorge from Facebook, he said, shout out to our Facebook viewers. Y'all
green
are,
team is so cute.
Facebook is lit tonight. They are giving it to us. Thank you, Facebook.
they are.
But he said he loves the green theme. But there's
My
no
face?
green. I don't know what the, this looks green now.
It looks green now.
Sort of, not really. Probably on his TV it might. But thank you. You know what? We're gonna be very green next week.
Oh, look, I like your booty.
I saw. Thank you. We're gonna be very green next week because it's our St. Patty's
St.
Day
Patrick, yes,
show.
yes.
So we're gonna be very colorfully green. So maybe we'll bring back our green skin too. Who knows?
My God.
That would be really amazing. Oh, my teeth look green. That's not the TV though. Sorry, I haven't been to the dentist in a while.
How does my middle finger look?
Yes. But I tell you a really funny story. Well, I don't know if it's funny, but this white sweater here. Long story short, I had a event on Saturday. I ordered one white sweater from this company, and when it came, it was off white. It was cream. It did not match the pants. I kept it. I wore it. I ordered another one. This one came. It's not gonna read on TV, but if you saw it in person against like really white pants, it looked cream. I argued with this company who told me that this shirt was white. I'm like, no, it is not white. It's off white cream.
It's not white.
Okay, Apple can see it and she's blind, right?
And I'm blind.
And she's blind.
I'm blind so bad.
So this company, have you ever heard this before? I said, my event is Saturday. I cannot return this. Just give me a gift card or a credit. Know what they told me? They said, wear it and just send it back to us. Have you ever in your life heard a company say, wear our clothing and send it back to us?
It makes no sense. But
So I didn't wear Saturday, but I thought, I'll wear it tonight for the show because it's
it
cute.
looks cute. It goes good with your
I'm going to
pants.
sweat in it. I might rub it against the green walls and get some green on it. And then, thank you, ASOS. I will send it back to you smelling like Frankie all day.
What you gonna do? You gonna send it to the laundry mat? To the laundry?
No, no. I'm going to send it, I have all the sweat on it. I'm even wearing a t-shirt. I'm going to send it right back to the company. I'll send it right back to the company. Anybody play with them? Shoot.
Well, guys, listen. The time flew by. It's already 8 o'clock.
Well, we started at 7:05. Any, have
okay,
any,
we got
have
5
any
minutes?
last thoughts?
Okay,
Well,
we
maybe a
got 5 minutes?
couple.
Okay,
I don't know.
Darling, go ahead.
We didn't get the wave yet for the 3 minutes, so I'm just waiting.
Oh, we didn't get it yet. We
no,
didn't. No,
so
we
tell me,
didn't.
what you got coming up this week?
No, just. Oh, guys, pray for me, please. I have a meeting in a couple of days for a huge gig that if I accept it, if we both accept our terms, it's going to be historical in New York City, and it's going to benefit entertainers like you and all of my trans entertainers, live singers. It's going to benefit everybody. So keep your fingers crossed. Say good vibes. that my meeting
We will be
goes
praying.
well.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Facebook, I won't say Venmo, Vivo, Twitch. Oh my gosh, I think we're off the air.
No, we
I
got
don't
25
know.
seconds. Thank you for watching, guys.
Can they see us though? I don't know.
I don't know if they could see us.
They can
You
see. Oh, they can see us. So we're
Wait,
about
wait.
to go.
They have numbers here.
We'll see you next week.
Let's count
I'm talking. We'll see you next week. We have some special guests coming. We have next
10,
week. We have our
9.
St. Patty's show coming. The last 2 shows of the month. We love you. Go ahead.
There's different numbers. 3, 2, 1.
It's been like deja vu. This ain't feeling right. Cause it's been like deja vu. Feeling like. It's been like deja vu. Know what to do. Should I let go of you? Deja vu. Don't wanna repeat of your love.